Tailor Tacks. This is a tailor tack, and it's a stitch that's put onto a pattern piece when you've cut out the pattern piece in fabric, and its purpose is to highlight a point on your cut-out fabric pieces once the tissue's been removed that's an important point. So that is going to show me where the bottom of the pocket opening is going to be on a dress. That tailor tack, which I'll show you how to do in this little film, is going to show me where the top of the pocket opening is. So other places that you might find you need to do tailor tacks on your pattern pieces that you'll be cutting out of your fabric when you make a garment will also be highlighted by these little dots, little tiny circles on different pattern pieces. So they're on a sleeve head here, they're on a dart here for a bodice. You might find also they're on an armhole, denoting where you need to ease in the sleeve head into a shirt or a bodice. So they could be found in all sorts of places on your paper patterns, and this is how to do a tailor tack. So you thread up a hand sewing needle with thread, and you make sure that the thread is double thread, and you don't tie a knot in the end of your thread. You leave it loose, no knots. And what we do is we just make one stitch. We put the needle into the tissue and through the double layer of fabric on the outside of the dot. We bring the needle out and up through the middle of the dot, and we pull it through. We pull it right through till we're left with about a 10 centimetre trailing tail of double thread. And then we take our hand sewing needle and we go back into the middle of the dot again, and we push it right through the double layers of fabric as well as the tissue, and we come out on the opposite side of the dot from where we started, and we pull the needle through and we make sure our threads don't get tangled, and we find that we've made a loop. So it's just like looping the loop with our sewing thread. And then we take our scissors and we cut this thread off, and again we leave about a 10 centimetre length like that. And that's it. It's as simple as that. On the back, on the other side, it looks like this. It looks like you've made 2 stitches. So what we're going to do next is take out the pins from our pattern piece. So you remove all the pins, and then we take the tissue away from the material, which means we will probably tear the tissue where this little tailor tack stitch has been made. We'll probably make a little hole, a little tear in the paper pattern, but that doesn't matter. And then we do the same to the one at the bottom, like that, and we're left with this. What we need to do is then split the 2 pattern pieces. So we're going to take them apart, because we've got to do that to make our pocket. So I'm pulling the material apart for as far as the loop will allow me. I'm not pulling it too much because we don't want the whole thing to come unravelled. And then we take our scissors and we cut through the middle of the tack between the 2 layers of fabric. And we do that on both of our tailor tacks, or all the tailor tacks for that pattern piece, whatever it is you're marking up. And that is done, and you can see now what the tailor tack looks like on this side and on the back. The middle of these stitches denotes that dot marking that you need to know about. Same here, and then if we turn that over, looks like that on that side, and that's the important point, the middle of the tack. And that's how to do tailor tacks.